Live from the luxurious fancy Playroom Studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's the Doug Stewart Show. Yes! Yes! I love doing that. I love putting on my big announcer voice. I love doing that. Yeah. Hey, thank you for joining the Doug Stewart Show. I am Doug Stewart, and the show is on fire, man. The show is absolutely on fire. It's all because of you. It's all because you subscribe. It's all because you like. It's all because you share. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. Tell somebody. Continue to like, share, and subscribe, all right? Listen, we always, when I was doing the 2 Live Stews, when we were doing the 2 Live Stews, we always fancied ourselves on doing something different and keeping it real because, let's be honest. Sports is the main thing. Sports pays the bills, but you can't just talk about sports your entire life. So thus, the 2 Live Stews did entertainment. We had bits. We had comedians on all the time, and this show is going to be no different. So right now, the movie just came up this past Friday. Joining me on the Doug Stewart Show is Morris Chestnut in the Doug Stewart Show, talking about the new movie, The Best Man Holiday. Morris, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. First of all, man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. I know you're busy.
Go ahead.
I said, I know you're busy.
No, hey, man, I'm a big fan of you guys, man. I used to listen to your show all the time, so I'm glad to be a part of it.
Man, you know what? And when you told me that, I talked to you a little bit earlier. When you told me that, I was like, that's good stuff right there, bro. I really appreciate it. Listen, the movie Best Man Holiday is doing fantastic right now. In one weekend, an opening weekend, you guys did over $30 million. And in the movie 14 years ago, the original Best Man, you guys did a little bit over $35 million. So you've already almost surpassed that in the first weekend. How excited are you about the success of the movie thus far?
Oh, I'm extremely excited. I mean, even though, back then when we came out with the original, times were different in cinema. Obviously ticket prices weren't as high,
right?
And we were actually a success story back then as well because we came out. We were number one at the box office, against like a Brad Pitt film and a couple of other things. So we were happy then, but now times have changed, and we're just very fortunate that people are coming back out to support us, and they've been enjoying the movie.
How hard was it getting back into that role? Like we already mentioned, it was 14 years ago. I didn't even realize the movie was filmed that long ago, the first one. How hard was it getting back into that role? And also, I got to ask you this question, bro. How hard is it playing the role of a husband who's best friends with a dude that smashed his wife? I mean, that is an incredible role to try to take on, bro. But you played it like a G.
Thank you. Well, there's 2 questions. So the first question, it wasn't that hard because we've all seen each other throughout the years. We went to dinner about 2 years ago, like in 2011, to Malcolm. He was wanting to talk to us about the potential storylines and everything. And we were all out to dinner. It was just like the chemistry just never left because I think we all genuinely like each other. And then, so we started rehearsal. We did these read-through. We had to do a read-through for the studios to get the green light. But we started rehearsal. So we rehearsed for about 2 weeks. And about a week before we actually started filming, Malcolm, took us to a theater, and we watched the original all together.
Right.
And that right there, that just filled it. It just brought us back to that same place. It was some things that we just had fun just watching ourselves in the original, and we just kept it rolling right into this one.
Okay.
And it's funny that you asked me. You asked me how hard it is, to accept, my best friend. Sleeping with my woman, because some dudes come up to me, like, man, Moore, how come you were so hard on Tay's character when he first came to your house? I said, okay, I said, put it like this: you have a friend who slept with your wife, and you're inviting him to sleep over at your house for about a week. How would you feel about it?
Right, exactly.
It's like they don't get it. They don't relate.
Wow. We're talking to Morris Chestnut right now on the Doug Stewart Show, DougStewartShow.com. All right, let me ask you this. Obviously, if you watch the movie, and you hear about what's happened over the past weekend. People love this movie. Why do you think this movie has stood the test of time and people gravitate toward it? It's pretty much at this point, bro, a hood classic. How do you think why do you think people love it so much?
I think for a couple reasons. I think thank God for cable because they rerun us like every other week, and people are grown with us.
Right.
That's one. I think two. When you talk about a group of friends, I mean, we all know an athlete. I mean, look at you guys. We all know an athlete.
Right.
We all know a Quentin. We all know a Merch. Some dude who's always saying some stuff he shouldn't say and can't keep a secret. We all can relate to all these characters. These are actually people that we know. So I think that has a large part in it. As well as I think we genuinely have a good time and good chemistry around each other, and I think that comes across on film. Talking
to Morris Chestnut right now on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, what are you working on new these days? We haven't seen you in a while, and something to this magnitude. At least I haven't. Is Morris Chestnut working? See, you get a lot of the roles that the Chocolate Brothers always get. You know what I'm saying? you and Idris Elba locked down the Chocolate Brother roles in Hollywood. What are you doing now?
Well, a couple of things. Last year I was in like 4 films that just weren't like leading roles. I was in The Call with Halle Berry. I did so I was in 4 films last year, but it wasn't really like major lead roles. I've been doing TV shows and putting some projects together. Right now, I have another TV show I'll be doing that's coming up next year called Legends. It's kind of like a Born Identity, as well as I'm producing a movie that's going to be shooting in South Africa next year.
Okay, cool. Now listen, I'm glad I just thought about this. I gotta ask this question. I don't want to give away a lot of the movie, and you are watching the Doug Stewart Show. I don't want to give away parts of the movie. I don't like when people do that. But in this movie, it's kind of revealed, okay, that you're actually part of an illustrious fraternity, the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Now, I don't know if you knew this watching and listening to the Stews over the last decade, but we are both members of Omega Psi Phi. Now, you went to college. Are you in any Greek letter organization?
I'm not. And that's the funny thing about it, because people are always, now the Sigmas, I got to watch my back now because the Sigmas are mad at me, because basically what happened was when I was in college, when I was in college, I just really was going there to get closer to Hollywood so I could really pursue acting.
Right.
So I really wasn't involved in a lot of college activities. And plus, out here on the West Coast, the fraternities, the sororities, they're not as strong as it is down south.
Right.
So my roommate asked me, he dragged me to the smoker with him. I went to a smoker for the Sigmas. That's all I did. I just went to a smoker. And they had me on their website that I'm a Sigma, and everyone always asks me, "You a Sigma? You a Sigma?" I said, respectfully, there's nothing wrong with being a Sigma, but I'm not a part of any fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I threw up the hooks in the movie, I got to watch my back.
Wow. And you know what? That was the rumor going on out here. Morris Chestnut is playing a Q in the movie, but he's a Sigma. So you aren't really a Sigma.
I'm not a Sigma at all. I just went to a smoker. They talked to us about what was going on. And, and I went back and I told my roommate, I'm just not focused on that right now. I'm trying to pursue Hollywood.
That's what's up. Finishing up with Morris Chestnut right now on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, you're from Cali. Let's talk a little bit of sports before I let you go. You're from Cali. Who are your favorite sports teams growing up?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge Eagles fan right now, and I was an Eagles fan growing up. I'm a Laker fan and a Dodger fan.
Yeah. What do you think about the Lakers? What do you think? It's struggling right now, but it looks like Kobe's coming back.
And I know you're a Laker fan. I know you're a Laker hater. I'm telling you, man. I was listening to the show on a daily basis. I was shooting a TV show in Canada, and I would download podcasts so I can hear what's going on in the States. I always listen to sports talk radio. And I would download like three different shows, but you guys would be the only show I really related to you guys much more than everybody. So I was listening to you guys every day. But the Lakers, listen, man, we're rebuilding, but they can't keep us down for long. I let people get happy right now, because we are rebuilding.
Right.
But, we pulled off moves in the past that nobody ever saw coming. Nobody ever saw that Chris Paul trade coming.
Right.
Luckily for everybody else in the league, David Stern had to pull his little stuff into it, and you saw what happened there. And so we're going to be back. We're going to be back, and I think we'll be back. We're going to be a contender no less than 2 years.
Wow, that's what's up, man. Morris, brother, I really appreciate the time, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. And like I said, I'm a big fan of you guys, man.
Hey, appreciate it. That's Morris Chestnut right there in the Doug Stewart Show. And wow. Yes, that's what I like. That's what I like. When a guy as busy as that dude pays you some respect and says he used to download your podcast or watch your show when he was doing his job, that's the ultimate compliment, man. Morris Chestnut was a Two Live Stews fan, or is a Two Live Stews fan. That's what's up, man. Oh, man. Oh, I love doing this show, man. Thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, subscribe, share, like, do all that. Tell all your friends. The funnest sports talk show on the internet. As well as we talk some entertainment, pop culture, whatever you want to talk about, whatever's hot, we're going to do it. Just like we just talked to Morris Chestnut, we'll do a lot of stuff like that. All right, that's what it is. It's the Doug Stewart Show.